Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. It's 6:03, and we are reconvening after closed session. Can we please have roll call?
Trustee Hodges. Present. Trustee Flores.
Present.
Trustee Young.
Present.
Vice President Amboy.
Present.
President Fox.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? All right, now we're on to actions taken during closed session. And our first item to report we have a student expulsion, student S2025APH02. Do I hear a motion? Vice President Amboy?
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Dr. Young? Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Same.
Trustee Young.
Aye.
Vice President Amboy.
Aye.
President Fox.
Aye.
And the motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Our next item was dealing with two litigation cases, special ed. And the first one, the board, first, the case number for this one, the first one is 202-503-0073. Do I hear a motion to approve settlement for this special ed claim case? Vice President Amboy.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Dr. Young, thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Same.
Trustee Young.
Aye.
Vice President Amboy.
Aye.
President Fox.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Now we're on to our last litigation case that we heard. The case number is 202-504-0340. Do I have a motion to approve this claim? Vice President Amboy.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Trustee Hodges.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Same.
Trustee Young.
Aye.
Vice President Amboy.
Aye.
And President Fox.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
And those are the items during closed session that we heard. At this point now, we are on to agenda item 4D, adoption of the board agenda. Motion. Trustee Hodges.
Make a motion to adopt the board agenda.
Vice President Amboy.
I second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Young.
Aye.
Vice President Amboy.
Aye.
And President Fox.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. We are now down to agenda item 6, board presentations. And Aurelio.
Yes, so this evening we're very excited to introduce our 3 newly selected student trustees. These students had to submit an essay and undergo an interview process. We are very proud to have representation from all 3 of our high schools as we enter the 2025-2026 school year. These student trustees will not only sit with us at the dais, they will also participate on the superintendent's student advisory committee, as well as represent the student voice on the 2+2 committee, which is with both VCUSD and the city of Vallejo. So I'd like to introduce, I'm going to call them up, put you all on the spot. You don't have to say much, but you can at least say hello. I'm going to start with Zanaya De Leon, and she is joining us from John Finney High School. Welcome, Zanaya. Come on. Say hello. Yeah, a few words. Not a lot.
Hi, I'm Zanaya Delion. I attended Jesse Bethel up until my sophomore year, and then I transferred to John Finney, where I'll be finishing out the rest of my high school.
Welcome, Zanaya. And just so everyone knows, the student trustees will be sworn in on August 6th at our next regular board meeting. They'll be seated next time. Thank you, Zanaya. From representing Jesse Bethel High School, we have Baraj Arbab. Baraj, if you can come forward.
Good morning, trustees and board. My name is Baroj, or good evening. My name is Baroj Arbab. I'm a soon-to-be junior at Jesse Bethel High School, and I'm the student trustee for Bethel, and I'm super excited to be on the board and get to talk with you all and let you know about some of the ins and outs of Bethel and get some feedback on what we can do to help our students at Jesse Bethel.
Thank you, Baraj.
Thank you, welcome.
Next student trustee representing Vallejo High School is Sonia, also goes as Sophie, Valdez Jacobo.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sonia Valdez. I am a 16 years old attending Vallejo High School. I am super excited to be part of student trustees, not just to help myself, but my community, my people, and those around me. I am super excited to get to know everybody, and I also hope everybody's doing well. And what else? A little bit of background about me, really quick. I am an immigrant from Mexico. I came from the western side of Mexico, and yeah, that's kind of it. Thank you, guys.
And to let the community know, when we did the interviews the last few weeks for looking for 3 student trustees, in the past, we had Jesse Bethel and and Vallejo High School. But we wanted to include John Finney as well to have a voice from each of our high schools. So we added them on, and the interviews were rough because we have so many wonderful students here in Vallejo, and listening to their questions and their feedback, and there was so many wonderful, and it's very difficult because everyone has so much to give and has their own experience. So it was very rough, but I was very proud to be part of this experience. And when we narrowed it down, you see the 3 that we came to, and we can't wait to hear their student voice that is going to represent their school and all the schools in Vallejo. And the difference that you will make through your voice and your action, not just here at the school district, but also in the city of Vallejo. Because once a month, we will meet at the 2x2, 2 city council, 2 school board, and hear issues on how we collaborate with the city of Vallejo, how to make our city stronger for education, but also stronger for all of us and safer for all of us. So I'm just so proud of you, and I can't wait to work with you, and can't wait to hear the issues and ideas. And you are Vallejo. You are our future. So I'm very proud of you, and congratulations. And we'd like to take a picture.
Let me get everybody first. Scoot a little bit this way for me. Scoot that way. Scoot this way. Closer. All right, ready? Actually, you guys are gonna have to move this way. To the left, to the left. Sorry. Dean's too tall. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. John. I had to take one, John. Okay, Dean? Perfect. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you. Enjoy the summer. We are now down to, with the same item, but we're on to a resolution.
This is resolution number 5068, so I'm very proud to acknowledge the years of service for Assistant Superintendent, soon to be Superintendent, Dr. Gigi Patrick. President Fox and I, we will go back and forth on this resolution. I'll get us started. So, whereas Dr. Gigi F. Patrick has dedicated over 30 years of exceptional service to the education system, demonstrating an unwavering commitment to student success and educational leadership, and
Whereas Dr. Patrick began her teaching career in 1993, serving with excellence as a social science teacher at both Jesse Bethel High School and Springtown Junior High School for 7 years. Advanced to the role of vice principal of Springtown Middle School, where she provided leadership for 5 years, and
whereas Dr. Patrick furthered her leadership impact as principal of Vallejo Middle School, where she dedicated 7 years to fostering an environment of growth, inclusivity, and academic achievement, and
Dr. Patrick served as co-director of the 9th grade academy at Vallejo High School for 1 semester, further demonstrating her versatility and commitment to students' transition and success, and
whereas Dr. Patrick transitioned to roles of increasing responsibility, first as Director of Human Resources for 3 years, then Chief Human Resources Officer for 5 years, and ultimately as Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources for 5 years, leading human resources functions, and
whereas Dr. Patrick has earned a distinguished academic background, holding a bachelor's degree from UC Berkeley, a master's degree from Tennessee State University, and a doctorate from California State University, East Bay, and
whereas Dr. Patrick has served in numerous leadership capacities in professional organizations, including as president of the Vallejo School Management Association, known as VSMA, regional representative and state chairperson for AXA Membership Services, vice president for legislative action for AXA Region 4, and adjunct professor at Toro University, among others. And
now therefore be it resolved that the Vallejo City Unified School District Governing Board of Education formally acknowledges and commends Dr. Gigi F. Patrick for her 30 years of service and leadership in education.
be it further resolved that we wish Dr. Gigi, I don't know what the F is, but Gigi F. Patrick, continued success in her future endeavors and express our deepest gratitude for her legacy of service. So we'll need a motion. Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this resolution. Do I hear a second? Trustee Flores.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges,
Aye.
Trustee Flores,
Aye.
Trustee Young,
Aye.
Vice President Amboy,
Aye.
President Fox.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0.
So we do have some public comment on this item. So if I can call up Jocelyn Hendricks.
Good evening, Superintendent Aurelio. Hope I said
Good.
that right.
Yeah, that works.
President Fox, Vice President Amboy, Trustee Young, Trustee Flores, and Trustee Hodges. Thank you. The Vallejo Unified, actually the Vallejo community would like to recognize our
Can you
colleague.
speak into the mic?
I'm sorry, our colleague and friend, honoring Dr. Gigi Patrick in recognition of 30 years of service. Thank you for your dedicated service, unwavering commitment, and lasting impact on the students, staff, and the community of Vallejo City Unified School District. Your legacy of excellence and leadership will continue to inspire for generations to come. Would you please come forward? We present you with this momentum of our love and appreciation for you.
Thank you.
And, oh, and Arnie, can you help us? Can you help us? Husband, can you help us? Yes. Yes. And we just really appreciate your service, and we're gonna miss you.
Oh, thank you.
We also have cards here that I'll leave on the table for anyone that would like to sign them for Gigi. Thank you. For Dr. Patrick.
Don't go too far. Stay up there. Just, we have another public comment, and then we do want to present you with the resolution as well and get some pictures. So, Hazel Wilson, please.
Superintendent Aurelio, President Fox, and members of the board. It is an honor and a pleasure to have known and worked with Gigi for these many years. Although some people would think because I wear pink and green and she wears red and white, that we would not honor and appreciate each other. But the common goal between Delta Sigma Theta and Alpha Kappa Alpha is our children. We all have the same motivation to see that the district, that our children succeed, and therefore I am excited about Gigi's next journey, her next position, because she has so much to offer. Thank you.
All right, we're on agenda item 7, forum. Do we have any interagency reports?
Agency, no.
All right. VEA.
You?
Steele is here.
Good evening, Board, trustees, superintendent. As you probably already know, school's out. Our staff has dispersed in the directions that they are going for the summer. Some are teaching summer school, some are going on vacations, others, there are quite a few that are taking university credits, keeping their teaching skills and their keep moving. Many certificated staff members were surprised to learn that accounts payable closed the school year early without providing notice to staff or VEA. In the recent past, we had until the last day of school. What this means is several teachers were not reimbursed for materials they purchased for their classrooms. We have an itinerant teacher who is not paid for her travel between school sites, probably not until August. When there are contractual changes with the district, please bring these changes to VEA so that we can negotiate the changes in good faith. Thank you.
We have a report from CSEA. Superintendent Aurelio, are you going to read it?
I do, yes.
All right.
President Kat Teagan sent me the report. She wasn't able to be here this evening, so I'm going to go ahead and read that. So good evening, President Fox, trustees, Superintendent Aurelio, staff, and community. Vallejo, chapter number 199, apologizes for our absence at tonight's meeting. We are currently preparing for CSEA's 99th annual conference this July, where we are proud to send 8 delegates to represent our chapter and bring back valuable information to Vallejo. Chapter number 199, this is the largest group of delegates our chapter brought to the conference in many years. Unfortunately, due to recent layoffs, our membership numbers will decline, and we may not be able to send as many delegates in the future. During the conference, almost 3,000 CSEA unit members from across California will gather to put union democracy into action and set the course for our future. As they do at every conference, delegates will spend the week gathering information, debating resolutions, discussing, planning our budget for the year, and casting votes on behalf of our chapters back home. In addition to the formally scheduled events, these dedicated members take advantage of the annual gathering to discuss their challenges, network, and exchange ideas with one another. On another note, we held an emergency chapter meeting last night to vote on the Me Too Memorandum of Understanding between Vallejo, Chapter 199, and VCUSD. Our members voted unanimously in favor and hope the VCUSD board will approve it later this evening as well. We also hosted our annual retirement party on Friday, June 6th, and would like to thank President Fox, Trustee Dr. Young, Superintendent Aurelio, Assistant Superintendent Heather Topacio, Assistant Superintendent Ruben Fernandez, our CSEA members, their families, and friends for taking time out of their busy schedules to make our retirees feel truly appreciated. We look forward to celebrating again next year. Last but definitely not least, Vallejo, Chapter 199, would like to thank all of our school site classified employees. The chapter executive board realizes that all of you have worked so hard this school year. We see you, and we wish all of you a restful and rejuvenating, well-earned summer break. This concludes our report. Thank you and good night. And that's from Kat Teagan, chapter president.
Thank you. We have a report from VSMA. Roz.
Good evening, President Fox, Trustee Amboy, Trustee Young, Trustee Flores, Trustee Hodges, Superintendent Aurelio, and our student trustees are incoming, if they're still here.
They are.
Wanted to greet, yes. So I'm Rosalyn Hines, and I am the outgoing president for VSMA. And I also would like to take this time to celebrate all of our staff and classified as we closed out the school year. 24-25 is almost a closed book, so Um, Congratulations to all of our sites for another year. Also we're excited about our high school. We started our credit recovery on Tuesday was the first day. We're all on one campus, and so that hasn't been, we haven't had summer school at both, on one site in probably a couple years, so we're excited about day 2, and everything has gone so very well. We also want to highlight this was day 2 for our site, for all of our site leaders. Our district leadership team led under the direction of our own Heather Tapasio Ed Services. We completed day 2 and really feel really good with reflections and training as we concluded our school year. So I think all of us are leaving to summer and on a good note. It is customary that VSMA salutes our retirees, and so I want to share Chris Waldron, Lynn Barango-Bibb, Mitch Romeo, and we like to celebrate our own Dr. Gigi Patrick for her years of service and all of her support to our Vallejo school managers. Dr. Patrick, if you come up, want to continue to show you some love before you take off. And this concludes my report.
Thank you.
On behalf of all the Vallejo school managers. Okay.
All right, now we are down to reports of district advisory committees.
No report this evening.
Committee members.
We have not received any cards for this item.
Student reports will have to wait
Next time.
next time.
Or
Now we're on consent item A through consent item, a lot of them, AF. Do I hear a motion? Trustee Flores,
Make a motion to accept items A through 8AF.
thank you. Trustee Hodges,
Second.
roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges?
Aye.
Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0.
We're on to information, agenda item 9, California School Dashboard Update for VCUSD. Let's see,
So,
Heather Tapasio.
yep. So Assistant Superintendent Heather Paso is going to provide us some information regarding the local indicators.
Good evening, Superintendent Aurelio, President Fox, Vice President Amboy, Dr. Young, Trustee Flores, and Trustee Hodges. Just really briefly, this is an annual report that should be submitted along with the LCAP to CDE as part of the dashboard. It's the local indicators report for both Vallejo City Unified and Vallejo Charter School. And it is just our generalized assessment of our implementation of an instructional curriculum, our teacher groups, and the qualifications in terms of credentialing and things like that that must be submitted annually. So this report is prepared and ready to go. I may, just similarly to last year, when they updated the credentialing lists, the teacher credentialing update, I had to come back before you with a revised report. So it may occur again this year because the most recent data is the 22-23. So if they update the state information for 23-24, I may come back to you with a revised report. Okay. Thank you.
Good, okay.
Thank you.
Agenda item 9B, Assistant Superintendent Ruben Fernandez. Our budget stabilization plan.
Good evening, President Fox, Vice President Amboy, Trustee Young, Trustee Flores, and Trustee Hodges, and community members. Tonight, we continue our conversation we began on June 4th with the presentation of the 25-26 budget. As you recall, that budget confirmed our ability to meet our financial obligations for the current year and next 2 years, but only through the use of one-time funds and temporary solutions. Tonight's presentation moves us into the next phase, the budget stabilization plan. This is our proposed roadmap to closing the projected $37 million structural deficit over the next 3 years, starting with $15.5 million of required budget reductions in 26-27 next year. Tonight's agenda includes a brief review of our budget position, also a proposed phased approach to budget stabilization over the next few years, key activities and milestones that bring us into spring of 2026, and some guiding principles that ensure our solutions are equitable, strategic, and always student-centered. As we discussed previously, our multi-year projection meets statutory solvency tests, but relies heavily on one-time transfers, a land sale, and reserves. This is not sustainable, and we must transition to permanent solutions that realign our expenditures and revenues while protecting our essential services. This chart tells the story clearly. In 26-27, if you look at the green circle that's oval that's come about halfway down, in 26-27 we face a $15.5 million gap. That grows to $32 million in 27-28 and to over $37 million in 28-29 if no action is taken. Our stabilization plan must be bold, phased, and strategic. There are 3 phases to the proposed stabilization plan. Phase 1 takes place approximately from June to October, where we're doing a review of our academic programs and services. Phase 2, October through December, is realigning our facilities and operations with that program, aligning the work that's out there with our support of those facilities. And Phase 3, December 25 through March 2026, implementation, the beginning of our implementation and alignment. This sequencing ensures that program quality and instructional equity drive our fiscal and facilities decisions. Phase 1 is an academic program review that focuses on ed services and special education. We'll assess the cost effectiveness, equity, and impact of our current programs while beginning a district-wide facilities study. This phase really asks the questions, what are we delivering now, and what can we afford to sustain in the future? Phase 2, we're going to attempt to align our capital and facilities decisions with that academic vision. This means reshaping project scopes, reviewing some of the surplus properties we have, and gathering input through committees such as the 7-Eleven Committee and other internal committees. The goal here is to really match our buildings, our learning environments with our educational strategy. Phase 3 moves us from planning to action. We'll bring those final recommendations to the board in December, including school considerations if warranted, and staffing plans will be finalized, adjusted, and we'll start our communication process and our engagement with our stakeholders and begin to really realign those capital investment schedules that will need to be adjusted at that time. This is an overview. It really talks about the next 9 months. It's a really accelerated timeline, marching back from March of 2026. Again, launching our evaluations, drafting our redesign concepts, aligning those programs with the capital funding that we do have to make our schools better places to learn, and then finally transitioning planning. In closing, this plan really allows us to tackle our fiscal challenges with clarity, compassion, and collaboration. It gives us the time to act very deliberately and very intentionally, and as much as we can, not to be reactive with the challenges ahead, and to preserve what matters for most, the opportunities that are in front of our students, and supporting our teaching staff and our classified staff. And this concludes the presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Trustee Flores?
Thank you for that. Slide 6, talking about the academic program reviews. Are there metrics or things already in place that you'll be looking for when you do the evaluation of these programs? More so just, I guess, equitable, making sure that we're not trying to sustain one thing and harming another. Then the other is more so a comment, and I think that I think we might all be able to agree on. Some of this can be negated through support of our parents and the community by increasing attendance, making sure our kids are showing up, dropping that the chronic absenteeisms. So I think one of the things I'd like to express to our community is that this is a worst case scenario, as nothing changes, things stay the same, and this is what we're going to do. But as we as a community, we as parents, we as a board, community members, parents, as I am myself, want to stop some of this, want to save some of these cuts. We just need to figure out how to change a few things. I believe you said 1 percentage point upward mobility on attendance is, I think, what was it, 400,000? I believe you said.
It's about 400,000 plus.
Yeah. So I think that's what I want to make sure that we also focus on too, not just cuts, but how do we grow, right? Because at the end of the day, we grow, some of this actually won't be needed. So.
Right. And to answer your first question around metrics, we're taking a look at what baseline data needs to be in the room, and we're starting to evaluate these decisions and working with ed services in identifying what success looks like and what programs look like and what have the most impact on our kids.
And I think Assistant Superintendent DePasio can probably provide a little context, I know, around special education too.
Yes, there's a significant amount of work in identifying where the most bang for our buck is, where you speak to programmatically what we can be offering and adding as opposed to just subtracting. So as we know, and I say this a lot, it's never just one thing, right? It's reduction of students transferring out of district. It's providing, strong instructional programs and professional learning so that our students are more highly engaged. It's empowering, the sites to implement short-term independent study where we have families going away for, vacations. It's definitely reducing that chronic absenteeism and new parent education around the importance of school attendance at every grade, right? And why that's so critical, not just for our budget, but for their long-term academic growth. So it's all of those things together. Additionally, looking at how do we enhance what's happening in our campuses every day. Including adding programs at the high schools, right, that attract more kids. So it's a variety of things, and I'm sure Assistant Superintendent Fernandez and I will continue to look at how to do that. In special education, that was mentioned briefly, reducing the number of vendors that we are bringing forward and only having those most, those strongest partners working with us who are willing to meet our requests for in-person staff, for instance, at prioritizing. We won't be able to get to 100% in person for everything that we do, but getting close to that so that we improve the program, improve the outcomes, and only work with vendor staff that is meeting our needs, right?
And I think also, I hope I didn't come off insensitive or or that to our community, because I do know that, folks have, there could be roadblocks for why some parents aren't able to bring their kids and whatnot. So I think my ask, my demand of the district is that when those parents come forward with whatever challenge it is that they need, we do everything we can to ensure that those needs are met and those obstacles are removed.
Hodges?
Just a quick question. How are we going to, we're going to plan to monitor and adjust the plan if our financial condition?
Right, it's a great question. And I think every interim report, coming next, if you recall the kind of the calendar for fiscal calendar for the year, unaudited actuals is next. That's our next checkpoint, right? Where do we land for the year, which impacts our beginning fund balance. So we'll know where we stand. In August, as our students start to come to school, we'll know what our enrollment looks like. We'll know what that revenue looks like, the governor's budget finalized, the additional revenue streams that may be out there or may not be out there will be realized. We'll have that opportunity, and then first interim, we'll also have an opportunity in October and then December again. So every time we're recalibrating, continuing to reconcile, not only with our sites and with our programs where their budgets are at, but when we come back to you, we have a very healthy conversation about that. So that it's going to be a continuous kind of calibration, as you said, to where we need to be and keeping you informed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now down to action item 10A, Local Control and Accountability Plan, or LCAP, 25-26 school year.
That is Director Cassie Gossett.
Good evening, President Fox, Vice President Amboy, Trustee Dr. Young, Trustee Flores, Trustee Hodges, Superintendent Aurelio, and VCUSD community. Tonight, it is recommended that the Governing Board take action and adopt the Vallejo City Unified School District Local Control and Accountability Plan, or LCAP, for 2025-2026. At the last meeting on June 4th, the 2025-2026 VCUSD LCAP was presented at a public hearing. As a reminder, the 2025-2026 LCAP is year 2 of a 3-year LCAP cycle. VCUSD has established goals aligned to the VCUSD strategic plan with actions and attached metrics to ensure the district is maximizing resources to meet the needs of our unduplicated students, otherwise known as our low-income English learners and/or foster youth students. The projected budget is $45,507,139 in local control funding formula, or LCFF, supplemental and concentration grant dollars for 25-26.
Vice President Amboy?
I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 10A.
Second. Trustee Flores?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges?
Aye.
Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
10, agenda item 10, action item B now. Vallejo City Unified School District budget adoption for 25-26 school year.
Thank you.
And Fernandez.
Yeah. At the June 4th meeting, I brought forward the proposed budget, and we had a public hearing for the 25-26 school year, and presented information on that. Also provided a little background on my earlier presentation that highlighted some of the work that needs to be done. And tonight, I am asking for approval of that 25-26 budget.
Vice President Amboy?
I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 10B.
Second. Trustee Hodges?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges?
Aye.
Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Action item 10C, Local Control and Accountability Plan, or LCAP, for Vallejo Charter for the school year 2025-2026.
It is recommended that the governing board take action on and adopt the Vallejo Charter School Local Control and Accountability Plan for 2025-2026. As a dependent charter, Vallejo Charter School has its own LCAP plan with its own budget. The projected budget for Vallejo Charter for 2025-2026 is $1,848,404.
Vice President Amboy.
I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 10C.
Dr. Young. Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges?
Aye.
Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
You. Action item 10D, Vallejo Charter School 2025-2026 budget adoption.
As with item 10B, brought forward on June 4th, the Vallejo Charter School budget for the 25-26 school year. And tonight, I am asking for approval of that budget, action item 10D.
Vice President Amboy.
I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 10D.
Dr. Young.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges?
Aye.
Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Action item 10E, Resolution 5067, to identify the amount of ongoing revenue enhancements.
Thank you. Good evening. Resolution 5067, which outlines the board's formal acknowledgement of the ongoing structural deficit we face and the financial targets we must meet over the next 3 fiscal years to stabilize the district's general fund. As shared during our recent budget discussions, Vallejo City Unified School District is projecting a cumulative structural deficit of $37 million by the end of 28-29. This resolution before you identifies the amounts of those revenue enhancements and budget reductions or budget reductions that are required in the next of each 3 years. $15.5 million in 26-27, $16.5 in 27-28, and $5 million in 28-29. Again, this phased approach sets a 3-year target to reduce the budget by $37 million and remove that structural imbalance. Adopting this resolution tonight, it would be a statement of intent. It demonstrates the board's responsibility and commitment to proactive fiscal management.
Do I hear a motion? Trustee Hodges.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt action item E, resolution number 5067.
You, Trustee Flores.
Second it.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges?
Aye.
Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
And motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Action item 10F, Memorandum of Understanding between the California State Employees Association and its Vallejo Charter 199, CSEA. Dr. Patrick.
Yes, and Dr. Patrick, as you do your report, do it very slowly so we can feast our eyes upon you.
Well, I actually had a little joke. I asked Assistant Soup Fernandez if he wanted to do that. Well, I asked Assistant Soup Tapasio, and then I looked to the right and said, you want to do this item? You know this item. Yes, thank you. Let me jump back to my official role. Good evening, President Fox, Vice President Amboy, trustees Dr. Young, Trustee Flores, and Trustee Hodges. So I will take my time. What you have before you is the Memorandum of Understanding between the Vallejo City Unified School District and the California School Employees Association, Vallejo Chapter 199. And this is the Me Too adjustment, the one-time off salary schedule that we were able to settle with CSEA and ratify. And so we're happy to bring this item to you. This will close out any pending negotiations that I led, and so I happily present this item to you.
Your motion. Trustee Flores?
Make a motion to adopt item 10F.
Trustee Hodges? Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges?
Aye.
Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
I'm doing this on purpose. Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, Dr. Patrick.
Thank you.
We are now on to agenda item 11, reports. Superintendent Aurelio.
Good evening, President Fox, Vice President Amboy, trustees, and community and staff. Before I jump into my report, I'd like to start off with a public acknowledgement of our fiscal trustee, Mr. Melvin or Mel Izuka. As we are projected to exit state receivership, this will be Trustee Izuka's final meeting with us. So Trustee Izuka, if you can come forward, we have a card for you.
I'd like just to say a few words.
Sure, please do.
Thank you very much for the recognition. I appreciate it. I've been here 12 years, probably the longest standing trustee with any district. A couple things I learned, though, by working here at Vallejo. One, I have a greater appreciation for CC Sabathia's accomplishments, thanks to Mrs. Wilson there. Being a Dodger fan, we don't pay much attention to pitchers from other teams, but I have a great appreciation for CC's accomplishments. The second thing is, just to sort of summarize the time I've been here, that one thing I learned was that the citizens of Vallejo, the Vallejo School Board, the various superintendents and staff, the bargaining units, the public and the parents, all have a great passion for this district and for the education of the children of Vallejo. And even though I may not have agreed with all the decisions that were made, I wholeheartedly understood that they were all made looking to better the performance of the children of this community. And I think that's really commendable. And I think as you go forward, you should be guided with that in mind. Today you heard Assistant Superintendent Fernandez give a budget stabilization plan. It's quite daunting if you were to look at the numbers, but as several of the board members, Trustee Flores and Trustee Hodges pointed out, that there are other ways just to make ends meet by just cutting things. And so I challenge the board to do this, to continue to ask the staff, are we doing everything we can? Are we doing the right thing? How do we measure it? What's the best way to go about it? Have you talked to other districts? How will we know we're making progress? You get these progress reports at the first and second interim, but you can ask these questions at any time. And it's the responsibility of the staff here to be able to provide those responses to your questions. They're more than capable of doing that. They're a highly competent, experienced group, and they're going to get better. And so I ask the board to keep that in mind as you go forward. You have some difficult decisions to come up with as we go into the future, but I feel confident that this district can meet all those challenges. With the end of oversight, you'll be just like any other district in this state. And your fiscal position really is not too much different than that of most districts in this state. But you won't have this cloud of going bankrupt and being under fiscal oversight from an outside trustee any longer. And that's a credit to this district again. They did all the things necessary. They paid the loan off. They made the decisions, the right decisions when they had to. So I congratulate the Vallejo Unified School District and the citizens of Vallejo for sticking with you all these years, and for you folks doing the right thing. You should commend yourselves for this, because it's a great accomplishment, and it shows that the process that the state has does work sometimes. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to continue my report. So as we close out the 2024-2025 school year, I'm proud to acknowledge the appointment of our 3 new student trustees who we met earlier. These exceptional young leaders will serve as vital voices on our governing board, bringing fresh perspectives and representing the interests of their peers as we continue to shape the future of VCUSD. This meeting also marks a personal milestone, the completion of my first year as superintendent of VCUSD. I want to thank the board, our dedicated staff, families, and the broader Vallejo community for your support, trust, and partnership. This has been a year of listening, learning, and laying the foundation for the work ahead. Together, we have taken bold steps to prioritize student achievement, address long-standing challenges, and commit ourselves to continuous improvement and fiscal responsibility. We have more to celebrate, as you heard from our fiscal trustee. On July 1st at 11 a.m., right outside on the lawn of the Vallejo City School District offices, we, with our partners, Solano County Office of Ed, will be joined by State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Thurman, to acknowledge our official exit from state and county receivership. All are welcome to attend. As we enter the summer months, I encourage everyone to take time to recharge. Let this be a season of restoration and reflection, so we return in August ready to serve our students with renewed energy and purpose. The 2025-26 school year holds immense promise, and I look forward to continuing our journey, guided by our strategic plan and fueled by our belief in what is possible for Vallejo's children. Finally, I want to inform the community that this coming Monday, June 23rd, we will officially launch our newly established 7-Eleven committee. This committee has been tasked with identifying properties that may be designated as surplus and providing both staff and the board with a prioritized list of potential school closures and consolidations. This work is essential to right-sizing our district and ensuring long-term sustainability so we can direct more resources into the classroom. Thank you for a meaningful school year, and here's to a hopeful and focused path forward.
Thank you. Any questions? Would like to go first for board reports? Hodges?
Thank you, President Fox. I'd like to report that I attended the 8th grade promotions for Solano Wiedemann and Loma Vista. Those were my first, but I want to point out that Loma was particularly emotional for me because it's their last 8th grade promotion, and it's a school I attended. It's kind of serendipitous that I returned to Vallejo. It was really tough to make that decision. I'm glad I got an opportunity to participate in the last promotion ceremony, and it was very beautifully done. They, all the kids wore the cap and gowns, and as they came on stage, they had a television screen up, and a picture of them when they were really little. Some of them were toddlers, some of them were like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. But it was very nicely done and very emotional.
Thank you.
Trustee Flores?
I had the good fortune once again to attend the high school graduations. That's just always a real emotional experience, you know, just watching our students complete their journey here with VCUSD on their way to whatever their path is, and watching their parents with the joy, you know. So that's always fun. So I was able to attend those. I also did 2 trainings for the Latino Parent Network. I did legal observer trainings for the Rapid Response Network, the North Bay Rapid Response Network. So the Latino Parent Network put them on, and you know, we're trying to prepare our district. We're trying to prepare our county for this administration. So the next one that we have is on July 8th here in Vallejo. If you'd like more information, you can reach out to me, or you can look up online North Bay Rapid Response Network. They have a registration page if you're interested in taking the legal observer courses. With that, I also am looking for the district to partner with me to set up Know Your Rights courses, as well as additional legal observer training courses. So with that, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, one more thing. I'm sorry. And just congratulations and thank you, Dr. Patrick. It's been an honor to be here these last couple of years with you. And even though he's not here, Mitch, you know, I know he didn't want the fanfare, but after decades of service to this community, from what I saw over these last couple of years, available to the district, to the students, 24/7. I wish him nothing but joy and happiness moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Young?
Well, I had the privilege of being a part of a lot of things, all the graduations, Vallejo High School, Jesse Bethel, John Finney High School, adult school. But I think the thing that most resonated with me was when I was part of the Afro-American graduation ceremony that was held on June 8th at Union Baptist Church. That was an acknowledgement that things are what they are. We had all Afro-American students in the audience, and we were very proud of them because each and every one of them are going to either a historical black college or they're going to a UC system. So, in saying that, we have to keep on pushing with every individual, whether they're black, white, green, yellow, or purple. We have to keep that hope alive. When I looked over into the audience, I said, wow, this is something to see, because I am a product of Vallejo Unified School District, class of 1967. Yes, I'm dated, but I've seen so much come through, so many programs come through, and so many good stories that have come around and come back to us. Dr. Patrick, you have done a phenomenal job. I am so proud of you. Your next chapter, as they say, when the Lord closes one door, he will open another. And he has opened another door for you. And you will be phenomenal in your venture and your new chapter, because you have so much to offer. So keep on pushing. Can't stop now because one door has closed and another one has opened. And it's a bright future there for you. Congratulations. I will miss you because I watched you through the system. Came through the system. And look at you now. So proud of you. My report.
Thank you. Vice President Amboy?
Let's see, in the beginning, June 7th, I attended the Vallejo Pista Sanayon with Superintendent Aurelio. It was a great way to celebrate Filipino culture and history, as well as what the Filipinos have done in this community. I'd look forward to having a booth next year. That way we can gather more of our students to come to Vallejo City Unified. I also attended with President Fox the 2x2. We discussed areas around site safety and the unhoused. What I'm asking of the board is if you guys have any things that you want us to bring up to the 2x2 in August, because that's when we will be meeting, or it's in August?
September.
Yeah, September. Please let us know so that we can address it at the 2x2. And again, I know Mitch isn't here, but Mitch, I appreciate everything that you have done. I remember earlier when I had issues, we were like in between the superintendents, and Mitch was the interim superintendent, and I met with Mitch and how he handled my concerns with Grace, and I really appreciate that with him. And Dr. Patrick, I have nothing but love for you, and I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss seeing you around here, and I know I'll probably run into you at around town for sure. So definitely expect a big hug from me. Thank you, Dr. Patrick, for everything.
Thank you, Vice President Amboy. My report, first, Dr. Young and Superintendent Aurelia, we went to the CSEA retirement dinner on June 6th, which I think was mentioned earlier on. It was a wonderful way to honor the retirees. It was a wonderful evening. Last Wednesday, I attended the Solano County Office of Education and watched Assistant Superintendent Heather DePasio and Superintendent Aurelio present on intra-district transfers and criteria and how we're making it more so that we're trying to keep our students here in Vallejo. And we're giving the reasons why you stay here in Vallejo. And that was a wonderful presentation, so I'm so glad that to be there and to listen. The county asked different questions about safety, which I think we're doing an awesome job. They also asked about if we interact with local law enforcement and if we collaborate with the city. We mentioned that the last few years we have the 2x2, which both of those happened during that, and monthly with the superintendent through the city manager. So I knew that was a wonderful evening. The graduations I attended 5 years ago when I was president was during COVID. And at that time, that superintendent asked me to make a video for our graduates. Very impersonal, very cold. There were drive-by to hand out things to students. It was not joyous, it was not celebratory, it wasn't like in person. It was very sad, but it was the time, it was what was happening then during the pandemic. Attending these graduations in person, to be able to look our graduates in the eye and shake their hand and say congratulations from your heart and wish them so much success on their journey forward was so powerful and so meaningful. So I feel blessed that I had the opportunity to have another time to do it in person instead of to do it on a video. So I'm really glad to attend. One of the graduations, the adult school, to hear the stories and what individuals went through and their perseverance, not giving up, or maybe taking time off and going back, but eventually finishing. The stories were incredible, and we're so proud of all of them. And I just love what we offer in our adult school to help here in Vallejo. All the graduations were wonderful, but those stories really touch you on how they work even harder to get either their accreditation or their diploma. Next, as Vice President Amboy said, a few other things from the 2x2. Soul Trans is continuing to offer, I'm so proud, if you're 18 and under, you get to keep riding free. You just need to tell them you're a Vallejo citizen, and you can ride anywhere in Vallejo any time of the day. That was really good news. They're going to continue that. No ID even needed, so I thought that was making it even easier. GVRD brought up Measure P. Our tax that us Vallejo citizens are paying extra in Measure P this last year, that we can have input on how it is doled out. So GVRD was asking about ideas and what we can use to help them with ideas for that. For the Nebraska Street from the high school, the closure that we've been working on for a few years now, the speed humps are installed. They were installed during spring break. I think it's helping slow down traffic, but we talked further about trying to get the permanent just during the school day, the street closure where you have the metal gates at two ends that close just during the school day. And it's about approximately $300,000 for that. The city is going to look into their budget next week and see what perhaps, when they're looking at their allocations, if that money is available or not. It will take at least 1 year, if the money is available, to even get the project going, which I reiterated that to be preventative to protect our students, time is the essence. I'm hoping we can get things moving as fast as possible, considering things that have happened in the past. We talked a little bit about our copper theft here in Vallejo. Superintendent Aurelio brought that up. We talked about some projects that we've done this summer that we need the city to help with construction projects and making sure all the materials and such are safe. We talked about under the safe schools, I think, was there anything else under that? Or was the summer work, copper theft, I'm trying to think what other thing, you did say something else under that.
I think we just spoke to some of the partnership with the Vallejo Police Department. I think some of the examples were like the safe passages to school,
Okay.
the reading to students, and there was a couple different examples.
Okay, and then another item we talked about is to continue the community events, the partnership, not just like the event we had about a month ago, but to make sure we're all role models and that the students see us, and again, yes, the police reading to our students and so forth. We talked about our new three student trustees and how they'll be joining the meeting. Then our youth coordinator talked about Prop 64 and drug prevention. It's mostly for marijuana drug prevention, but we brought up also other means like for fentanyl or others. Could other things be brought in? Maybe if there's money from other entities or grants to make sure that it's not just for one thing. And we always do like Red Ribbon Week in October. But I don't want things to be very surface with talking about drugs. I want to get under the surface and really get to the stories. And unfortunately, like the young girl that died in Santa Rosa a few months ago, thinking she was taking something, but it was actually fentanyl and it killed her. So I want to make sure that we have real stories that are helping and real prevention that's helping our students. So we talked about that a little bit. So hopefully the Prop 64 can help with that. We also talked about that the youth coordinator is going to do a youth-based survey and needs assessment. So maybe we'll have our trustees help with that with coming up. We told them about our 7-Eleven committee started, our graduations. It was so honoring to finally, we have a mayor. Our mayor attended every one of our graduations. She was there at every one of them. I'm so proud to have the city representation there for our schools. That was a wonderful thing. We talked about the receivership celebration on Tuesday, July 1st at 11 to 12 o'clock. And our next 2x2 meeting will not be until September 25th, Thursday at 4:30. And we did find out that the meetings are recorded in a bank on the website. So the County Office of Education that was asking about, do you collaborate with the city, or do you talk with your law enforcement, or how are you working on safety? We have 2 years' worth of videos to show what we've been working very hard on. That's my report for the 2x2. So I've been doing a lot since the last meeting. Hope everyone can have a wonderful and restful summer. I too would like to thank Mitch Romeo and Gigi Patrick. You both have been role models to me in this district for the last, I want to say 10 years that I've been, because I was sitting in the audience for a few years before being here. And I remember meeting with both in their office and getting advice and just talking about issues in Vallejo and what's important and how to get through. There was so much change. I honor you and respect you both so much for what you've done for our students in our district. It's been an honor to work side by side and your voice, and I'll always appreciate you as a fellow Vallejo citizen and what you've done for this district. So thank you, both of you. And with that, that is my report. Now we are down to, Dr. Young, did you want to say something else? Okay. I've been busy. I had a long report. 12, Community Forum. Do we have anything more for that?
Nope.
All right. Closed session is not needed. 14, announcements of upcoming meetings.
So we do have the 7-Eleven committee that will launch on Monday, June 23rd at 5 p.m. It'll be here in the boardroom. It is a public meeting, so obviously the membership will be there of 7-Eleven committee, but people are welcome to attend if they want to observe. We've mentioned a couple times this evening the press event on July 1st outside here at 11 a.m. Our next regular board meeting will be August 6th. We have a break in July. You all get to not sit up here for a month. And then for the board, we do have an August 7th hold for our school board governing retreat. That is a Saturday, August 2nd. More details to come.
And at that August meeting, that's when our 3 student trustees will be sworn in and start participating with our meetings. Any future board agenda items? All right, anything else for the good of the order? Well, yes, have a great July, summer. Thank you, everyone, for all you do. And with that, we are adjourning. It's